Hi guys, yes. Welcome back, man. It's been about a month since I've loaded my last video. I promise y'all I didn't go MIA. I'm still right here. I love doing what I'm doing, coaching and guiding people in the right direction to grow and start their group home. So before we move any further, please do like and subscribe so you can receive all the updated videos, because man, we are doing a lot of awesome things here. We're expanding in the area, and I want to be able to provide you guys with these tips just by following along, right? Just by following along and rolling, because we want to be able to see you successful. And let me be more transparent with that. I want to see everyone successful. I want to see everyone hit their goals and do everything that they are setting their self out to do, plus 10 million times more, right? So in this video, guys, I'm coming on because I want to talk, right? I've done so much over the last month that is just insane. So I want to get on here and I want to talk about the good things and some of the bad things, a lot of the hiccups. I've even came to a lot of times by thinking that, man, I'm thinking I'm just gonna give this thing on up by dealing with certain different demographics and just going through it. So in this video, you're going to be able to get a quick update, and I want to just leave you guys with just some simple tips of things not to do and things that I would recommend doing when you are in this business. When you are in this business, transitional housing, sobriety living, three-quarter housing, I mean, there's so many different names for these things, right? When you're in this business, you're full-fledged and you got a good heart. You want to be able to help the community as much as possible. But I've came across certain different clients, and I'm urging this in this video. You don't want to get too involved, put your feelings involved into it, and it's a reason behind that. A lot of the people who you are dealing with, they can be broken, or they are broken. You know, they may have a past history of being abused, addictions, just all types of things going on. So when you are going through different things with certain clients, you don't want to take those things home with you. I want to urge that. I've been in a group, the Group Home Riches group, and if you followed my last couple videos, you will know I started with Group Home Riches, and you can learn a little bit more from them. I'm going to also share a link for their website as well. I purchased courses through them, and I was able to just, start it off just a little bit. But I've been in a group, and I saw a lot of entrepreneurs, facing a lot of the challenges that I faced earlier on in my process. And I do still see a couple things that I can adjust and make just a little bit better. So with this video, I just want to go a little bit more in depth on that. The first thing is partnership. When you're doing partnership, and I know everyone, you want to find your first property and you want to be able to get going and make your money and start this out. But you want to be rational about going into these partnerships and these contracts with different landlords. Sometimes because of their past offenses and dealing with certain clientele, they may have not got their full fledged of income, or they just don't simply know how to, work with other people. So by us coming into this type of field, transitional housing, we're here to kind of be a healer in the community, right? So we sometimes got to be a healer with our business partners. Things that I've done that I wish I could have done differently. Well, let me not even say that, because I'm happy that I've learned from those things, because it opened my eyes to other different ways that I can go about doing it. And speaking about partnership, when I got my first property, I wound up finding it on Craigslist. I mean, it was like a godsend, it's the first call, and it was just awesome. It just went so well. He was ready to work with me. His last tenant that he had in his property hadn't paid rent for over a year. And, was destroying it and just, doing it bad. So I saw so much potential in this group home. And I am so blessed, and I'm still to this day extremely grateful that I was given an opportunity to work in this property. But earlier on, I just wish that I had the knowledge and knowing the figures prior to going into my contract and things to put in your contract when you are signing contracts with property owners, property management companies, just so you can cover yourself at the long end as well too. You're going to put a lot of money into the property, into your things and things like that. So you really want to read over every single thing. Don't miss a beat. Please, guys, do not miss a beat, because you can find yourself really in a pickle. You can really find yourself in a pickle by signing things and going into, partnership. Because I know we want to get our group homes up and going, but you go in there with high expectations, and people see that. They see that you're vulnerable. You got so much fire inside of you, and you don't want to leave yourself open to be taken advantage of. Let me say the least. So what did I do, right? I went into my partnership, and when I went in there by the idea of, hey, I'm going to be able to put 2 people per room. I'm going to use that model, the group home riches model, and I'm just going to, I'm going to bang it. But the difference is when you are going into a partnership, you want to keep in mind that you still have to pay rent and all those utilities. And right now in this time, rent is extremely high. The market is extremely high. I'm talking about properties that I've seen a year ago at $800, they're like $2,200 now. I mean, it's crazy. So when you're going into these partnerships, you want to adjust the amount you're going to charge per bed, per room. You have to adjust those things, because when you are a private group home, you do a lot of outsourcing. And I will go more in depth on outsourcing in a future video, but you do a lot of outsourcing when you are a private group home, and you miss a lot of funding that's on the table because you're outsourcing that to other people who can be able to service your clients, because you don't either have the licensing to do it or the proper skill set, right? So you want to keep in mind that when you are a private group home and you're going into a partnership and you don't own that property, do your research. Don't just go off of other people's business model. You got to be able to see the market rent currently. You want to be able to see the specific need in the community, and you want to pinpoint and target one demographic so you can be able to maximize on all of your funding. Because if you don't, it's going to be extremely hard to even stay afloat. And that's just me being honest, guys. That's just me being honest. Another hiccup that I did within the partnership, I went extremely too high as far as what I told him I can pay for the property, and we didn't put in there and go in depth as far as what's covered under the maintenance and things like that. So I've been left to fix hot water tanks. One time my furnace went out. So, we are still renting the property from these landlords, and you want to keep in mind, we starting our business, and it is going to be lucrative, and you want to make sure that you keep a good, healthy relationship with your business partner. And from the beginning, it's nothing better than a clear understanding. You want to make sure that everything is in depth in those contracts, with your landlord, because they may bring up, well, hey, you didn't mention that, and then they got in their mind that you're operating a group home, that you could be making $30,000-$40,000 monthly in that group home, which will be false. When you are a private group home, you won't make that amount of money. So Now they're left with thinking that, hey, you're making all this money and you didn't add this in here. And so why should they be concerned about it, right? So be specific in those contracts, guys. Be extremely specific. And I have courses coming myself, launching. That's another thing that I wanted to mention in the updated video here. I have courses coming to a lot of the do's and don'ts and contracts that I use myself. I've went in depth and I've changed so much when you're going into partnership with other landlords, because I don't like to have the same hiccup, right? I don't like to go over the same thing repeatedly. So going in and changing things, change can be a good thing, right? Change can be a good thing. So within my courses, we go in depth. Man, it's just so much beneficial information that you guys can really do take advantage of. So please do look out for updated videos on my courses, okay? Let's speak about something else. Let's just go more in depth, because again, we talking here, right, guys? We talking. Why is it so important to pinpoint demographic and not to take stress home with you? You don't want to take a lot of the stress home from the business, because it can get very frustrating when you're dealing with all types of demographic. It's going to get frustrating, guys. I'm being honest. I'm really being honest. It's going to be frustrating because we're using outsourcing, right? Our clients, some organizations may not want to pay for, if it's kids that live in there. You know, you're going to get people that's going to complain. And when you're not setting those house rules the proper way, it's a lot of things can happen. So courses, please do look out for my courses, because I go more in depth as far as things that happen since I've been in business. I mean, the group homes get wild sometimes, especially if you don't have your house rules and you have responsible people who you have in charge there. You need to have responsible people who can be able to tell you when things are going on, tell you when someone is signing in late. I mean, these things are important at the end of the day. So since we didn't got over a lot of the, hiccups, let's speak about the good things in the partnership, right? Partnership has really opened up so many other different things for me to do, right? So I was able to use these same techniques and get a church. And I got the church about 6 months ago. And it's just, we've been dealing with zoning and all different types of things for that. But we was able to finalize everything a couple weeks ago, and it was just, amazing. So in that church, we're going to target aged out teens, and I go in depth in my courses as far as if this is a passion for you. It was a passion for me, because when I was in the shelter myself personally, it was a lot of young teens there, not teens, but 18-year-olds who had aged out of the foster care system. So because they don't have family members to go back to, they aged out of the system, they don't have anywhere else but to go where the adults go. So they can only go to those shelters. So that's where my passion grew at. And I'm like, man, I love building resumes. I love just, helping. So, we're going to get that going. So with my videos, that's why I want you guys to like and subscribe, because we're going to do a lot of walkthroughs through the churches. We've been expanding and just purposely filling beds, right? So I am opening, and I do have plans on opening my own personal transitional homes in the future. But currently right now, we've been working on just particularly filling beds. So if you want to know more about how to reach organizations, I'm on multiple boards here in Michigan, and it's a simple process. They love people like us in the community to give good feedback, bad feedback, any type of feedback, right? And that's going to help if it's good feedback, if it's bad feedback, as long as it's going to be beneficial and it's going to help the community, they love to see people like us, right? So we're going in depth on just showing you guys, man, where to actually locate funds, because that's important. Remember, we are a private group home, and we're going to be outsourcing a lot of our services. So when we want to tap in and maximize our income in our group homes, it's important. So please do, again, like, subscribe. You really don't want to miss those things. And just another cool thing that I have worked on, and I'm just excited to show you guys, I actually got my book through the mail. I wrote a book about my journey. It's called The Demons That I Fought. And it was a beautiful thing, man. Let me keep this up here for a second. It was a beautiful, beautiful book, man. I really took my time out. I put love into it, kindness into it. And it's definitely going to be a bestseller. I'm claiming it right now, guys. I'm claiming it. So all of my followers, please do. It's available on Amazon and also Nobles. Go on there and click it. And even if you're a book reader, we also have it on sale. So join into a Amazon membership, and you could be able to read this thing for free, right? And just see a little bit more about Jasmine and hear a little bit more about my story. And I go even depth, just a little bit of personal things in there, and you can be able to read it. I encourage everyone to write. I encourage everyone to do, whatever it is that you guys set out. Success doesn't mean the material things that you possess. Success means exactly where you want to be in life. Yourself, from your previous self, from your past years, you're doing better this year. That's successful in my book, right? So you guys, please do, again, like, subscribe. I'm going to be posting another video here next week, going more in depth about the courses that will be available, prices for the courses, just all types of things, man, that I want you guys to take advantage of, because we are expanding in our community, and I have the keys to give you guys so you can expand, right? Alrighty. Well, until next time, I want you guys to stay blessed, and man, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.